Hey everyone, Tanner here. Today I want to talk to you about why I got into my coaching business and what really has inspired me to get here and why I decided to start learning about the information that I teach to others. So if you didn't know, I'm a self-sabotage coach. Really what that focuses on is limiting beliefs and different subconscious programs that we learn that actually hold us back. So, most of the time it's not you're thinking like consciously trying to stop yourself from achieving something. It is like an urge or a craving or, a thought just comes out of nowhere and you just kind of give up. And there's a reason for this is, it's not yourself, you're not failing yourself, it's actually your subconscious mind. And many of us aren't taught about the subconscious mind, and we're never taught about it in school. We're never taught about it pretty much our whole lives, unless maybe do like a upper level psychology class or something. You wouldn't be taught about it, and it's extremely important for just your daily life, like day to day actions, because everything that you're doing, everything that you're around, every person you're around, everything you're listening to, everything you're watching is actually influencing your decisions and your actions through your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind is always listening. Now, why I got into this information to begin with is, I was struggling. I was trying to make healthy changes. And the whole reason why I started trying to make healthy changes, because for a while there I was eating junk food. I was eating out at fast food places. They're going to Chick-fil-A all the time. There's a Chick-fil-A right across the street from my old apartment in Fort Collins. And every time we'd go on a walk, we'd smell it, like, oh, I really want that, and we would usually cave in and have that Chick-fil-A and get a large soda and just be down and all that. And it was after college. I didn't get the job, any job that was within my degree. I had an economics degree with a business minor, and I couldn't find anything. I was working at a job that I did like at a taco cart. They called the Taco Stop. They're actually now a restaurant, and congratulations to Caesar and his wife Bernice. I really love their food, and I really liked working for him. However, it wasn't necessarily the job I thought I would have after going to college and spending all that money and all my time investing all my of myself to getting a job, a higher paying job, and things like that. I got paid pretty decently during the summer, and then during the winters, it would be a big struggle because some days we wouldn't just open, or some days we wouldn't have any customers, and that really was a drawback and made it really hard to actually pay bills. So, I was struggling with eating unhealthy, and I was also struggling with money just in general. Both me and my wife, well, she was my girlfriend at the time, um, realized that we were in over our heads. We had credit card debt, around $10,000 credit card debt. For some people, that may not be much, but you know, it really woke us up and really made us worry about how are we ever going to get out of this. We felt like we were in a sinking ship that was that we couldn't bail out of. We couldn't stop the ship from sinking, and we had to take some drastic actions. So I started listening to Dave Ramsey and other people like that who talk about getting out of debt. And he talked about how cutting your main costs is the main way to do it. And of course, living, your rent expenses are pretty much the main cost. So what we did is we decided to move back in with my parents, and that's something you never want to do. You never feel like you want to move back in with your parents after you've moved out on your own. And I was feeling like I let myself down and let my girlfriend, my now wife, Maddie, down at the time. I felt like I wasn't good enough and wasn't able to make that money, and I was struggling with negative thoughts as well inside my head, and I was getting somewhat depressed. So when we moved in with my parents, I was trying to find ways to make myself feel better, turn my life around any way I could. So I started looking into people like Paul Chek and holistic health stuff, and started reading in books like How to Eat, Move, Being Healthy by Paul Chek. Great book. Let's see, I got a couple other books right here. Oh, yeah, this book here, The Big Leap. I read this book. It's by Gay Hendricks. It's a great psychology book. Talks about what he calls upper limit problems, and essentially it is self-sabotage. It's the same thing. I started following someone who's very well known for his self-sabotage coaching, Jason Christoff, and he helped me understand why I kept sabotaging my best efforts at becoming healthier. So, I was investing in myself, which was extremely important. However, making those changes was extremely hard for me because my subconscious mind kept influencing me to either eat unhealthy or to, take certain actions or to not feel motivated to actually want to do these things. And, a big example of that is I was struggling to stop drinking alcohol, especially with everyone around me in my family drinking alcohol. Finally, me and my wife just said, we had enough, and we got rid of it. And luckily, we were able to do that. But then it started making it so we were smoking more. And, there was a point after college when I was working with Taco Stop where I felt like I needed to drink to relax myself. Like, I'd come home from a day of work and I'd just feel like I need a drink. And, that was part of society and part of my subconscious mind becoming addicted to the familiar. Our subconscious seeks the familiar, so the more times it is shown in your life, the more times you are drinking it, consuming it, the more it's going to want that thing. So there's a reason why addictions occur, and I believe most of the time these addictions are not necessarily to the alcohol or to the food themselves, but to a negative lifestyle, to being part of the tribe, you could say. So, the tribe would be your family. It could be the people you hang out with, all your friends. It could be the people you surround yourself with, or the TV shows and movies you watch, because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. So I was really struggling, I'm not going to lie. I really wanted to make these changes, but I kept, saying, oh, I'm going to stop drinking, and then I would drink, 2 days later or 3 days later, or I'd stop drinking for a couple days, and then I'd keep drinking. And I had the same problem with marijuana as well, and eating healthy and all that. So what really made the change and what really allowed me to understand why I was sabotaging myself was understanding the subconscious mind. And the person who got me interested in this was Jason Christoff. Now, he is a self-sabotage coach, and he goes into the subconscious mind all the time. He was always, so his story was that he was actually he kind of actually he sabotaged most of his life as well. He had a really bad drug problem, and then he went to Paul Chek and went to one of his courses, and he got healed from them. And he went to and got certified from them as well. And then he had his own fitness gym, and he kept trying to use these methods to heal others as well. And he noticed that they all had the same self-sabotage tendencies that he did. And so he really wanted to understand why those people were self-sabotaging. Just kind of like how I felt with me, and I'm sure many other people, you may even feel like you don't understand why you're sabotaging yourself, or why you would sabotage yourself because you don't think you actually are. Well, please understand, it's not you consciously thinking, oh, I'm going to sabotage myself, I'm not going to do this. No, it's your subconscious mind is 90% of your total brain power, and it has the ability to influence your conscious decisions. So, your thoughts and actions, which you may think that are coming from your conscious mind, are actually coming from your subconscious mind and influencing you to take those actions or decisions. So once I learned about the subconscious mind, I was blown away. I started to kind of search myself and do meditation to understand where my limiting beliefs came from. Someone else who's helped me a lot in my journey is Marissa Peer. She is a hypnotherapist, and she talks a lot about positive self-talk and does hypnotherapy so you can go back in to your past experiences and kind of see, what your limiting beliefs were. She also has hypnotherapy to rewire and reprogram your subconscious mind. And so I used a mix of these methods to actually make myself, or allow, or sorry, to make it so my subconscious mind works for me instead of against me. And really, once I did that work, it made it so much easier to eat healthier, to stop drinking, to stop smoking. I haven't drank in over 2 years. I haven't smoked marijuana in 6 months. One of my main goals as well was to stop using asthma medication. So, the little red puff inhaler, I had to carry that around in my pocket all the time. And I was really struggling with that because I would, the closest I got to stopping it before then, before understanding how my subconscious mind works and my limiting beliefs work, was I had stopped for 7 weeks, or sorry, 7 days, 1 week, and I didn't have any asthma medication. I would use teas like chamomile tea and one called Breathe Easy, and I would use eucalyptus essential oil to try to help me naturally get over the asthma attacks. And then I had a really bad attack, and I started using it again for a month, maybe 2 months of just asthma medication probably every day. And I was very upset that I couldn't get over this. And once I understood that my asthma had a purpose and that there was a belief that I needed that asthma medication to breathe, it really became much easier once I told myself that I didn't need it anymore and that I understood why I had my asthma. So I actually made a video about this a couple of days ago. Feel free to check my YouTube channel or my Facebook. I have it posted on my Power Up Self-Sabotage Solutions Facebook page. So you can see it there. Now, beyond that, I've done more reading as well. I stopped having any caffeine. Now, I know many people think caffeine is actually good for you, or that they need it to stay awake or even get awake in the morning. And, I used to be in the same boat when I worked the night shift at the taco cart. I would have like at least one energy drink, if not two. And, one night, what actually stopped me from drinking the energy drink was I had, I think, two of them, and I was just not feeling good at all. I had to run to the bathroom, and what's after that point, and I was not feeling good at all. So I decided, I'm not going to have these energy drinks anymore. So I cut those out. However, I was still having sodas, which of course has caffeine in it. I was still having milk chocolate and things like that, which has caffeine in it. And then once I started, Jason Christoff actually made a post about Caffeine Blues, this book right here by Stephen Cherninsky. So I never read much. I'm not gonna lie, I never read too much after like high school, after they started making you read. I was never really into it. I'd much rather watch a TV show, watch a movie, play video game, whatever. So I thought I was gonna have a hard time reading that book because it has a lot of scientific information. Scientific information in it. Now the good thing is that he writes it extremely well and easy to read. He goes over the scientific information and then kind of puts it in terms that anyone could understand. And I really enjoyed his writing style, and I enjoyed that he has sources for all of his information and all the studies that he's looked into. So I know many people say like, oh, there's this study that came out and shows caffeine is so good for you, but you also have to think about who is publishing the studies and who is sponsoring the studies, because what Stephen Cherninsky talks about is how Pepsi and Coca-Cola, the big two soda companies, obviously they are very into caffeine because it's one of their main products. they are actually the main ones who fund caffeine research. Now, do you think that Pepsi and Coca-Cola would actually let research go out that is negative about their product? No, they really wouldn't. So that is part of the reason why they there's so much positive information about caffeine, because it's paid for science. And you really got to understand that the stuff that does come out about it is being ridiculed or gets pushed down because, it's kind of like something that is so common in today's age that everyone's like, no way, there's no way that coffee is bad for me. Well, I challenge you to try this. If you don't believe me, either try stopping caffeine for a while. You'll get huge um, side effects from stopping, withdrawal effects, and you'll get major headaches and all of that because you're addicted to it. Your body becomes addicted to it very easily. And if you want an easy way to overcome that, read this Caffeine Blues book. In the back, he has a step-by-step process on how to wean off coffee so you don't get the withdrawal effects. Now, I recommend you at least try going off coffee for at least a month, maybe more, so you can actually see what the effects are on your body, because it is a big difference. And many people believe they don't have the energy to do what they want to do in their day without the coffee. But in all reality, the coffee is stealing all your energy. It might give you energy, a temporary boost of energy, what I like to call fake energy, when you drink it, but shortly after you are left more tired and with less energy than you had before. And that's not a good way to go down things, because it creates a cycle of needing that coffee, an addiction of not only mentally, but you need to physically have it for your energy fix. And if you are stressed, coffee actually influences that as well. So the reason why I talk about coffee is it has helped me a lot overcome anxiety, because if you have anxiety, coffee does activate the fight or flight response in your body. So that is, increases cortisol in your body. So that way, whenever your fight or flight is activated, your blood actually drains from your head and goes down to your arms or legs so you can fight or flight, run away. So, and this is from old times when, if you were in fear of something, then you would actually, need to fight it off. Now, it doesn't necessarily make sense for the coffee, but it actually happens with all sorts of things that don't necessarily make sense in today's day and age, because, we get scared of media, we get scared of movies, we get scared of those things, and fight or flight actually happens. Now, when a fight or flight actually happens, your blood flow goes away from your brain, so you can actually lose up to 40 to 60% of your total blood flow to your brain, which means your brain is not functioning at its full capacity. So it's very important to look at your coffee intake and think about maybe getting rid of it, so you can actually better your life. And one of the best ways to do that is to understand the subconscious mind, maybe to read this book, the Caffeine Blues book. So that is my story with self-sabotage. I was always self-sabotaging myself. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean I don't find myself trying to sabotage, or my subconscious mind trying to lead me down a path of self-sabotage anymore. For instance, my day might be going extremely well, and then I'll pick a fight with my wife for no reason. And it's because my body is actually craving a fight. Most males are actually fight-oriented, and that's why so many of us play video games, because we get a lot of our fight fix from the video games or from TV shows or movies. That's why we like, the action movies. We like the Marvel Avengers, where they're fighting people all the time. So when I don't play as many video games one day, I might pick a fight with my wife instead, and that might be my form of self-sabotage. Or, when my wife makes her delicious baking, I might sabotage myself by having one too many cookies or something like that, because I believe that I need them, or I tell myself, oh, I got this craving. And really what I have been able to do is try to catch myself in the self-sabotage act and tell myself, I don't need this. I understand why I am craving this, and not that I can't have it, but I choose not to have it, because the way you use your words is extremely important. You say, if you're trying not to eat, um, junk food, if you're trying not to drink alcohol, don't say I can't have alcohol. I'm not having it right now. Say I choose not to have alcohol because it's a choice. It's not that you just physically can't do it. You're choosing not to do it, right? And that will actually help a lot with your brain and help enforce that decision that you made. So a lot of it is positive self-talk. I have been working on my self-talk with affirmations in the morning and at night. And whenever I catch myself saying something negative, I will, recognize that. I'll breathe in and let go of that negativity, and then I'll tell myself something positive to use destructive interference to um, counteract that negativity. So something that you can do as well. These are steps you can do on your own. If you want a shortcut to be able to get to this point where you're able to understand the subconscious mind and how it works and how to reprogram it in only about 2 hour long sessions with me, I would love to take you through that process and be that person for you that is there for you. And together we can do this. All information that we talk about is kept confidential, and of course there is no judgment when you're in my zone. Um, that is something that's very important to me. We are a team, and I want to help people the same way that I've helped myself, and the same way that Jason Christoph has helped me, so that way others can wake up to why they self-sabotage and then overcome it, because hard it's such a hard process to overcome self-sabotage if you don't know what you're dealing with and why you are actually sabotaging in the first place. Anyways, that is part of my story. If you want to read a more in-depth story, go to my website, and there's actually a blog post talking about my self-sabotage story. I would love you guys to read it and leave any comments, or feel free to email me, or just get in contact with me if you want to set up a consultation, or even a coaching session where we can go over and take you through that process I was talking about. Anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.